Happy Friday afternoon, everybody. This is the Chatbox Vale, your live podcast on YouTube, and we are also streaming on all of the other platforms that you can get online. This is our beautiful studio today, and we are happy in the TV8 studios. And you may recognize my special guest. Dana, what's going on? I want to say hi to you really fast.
Oh, it's so good to be here. Thank you for having me. Thanks for inviting me.
Well, I have you here for a reason, for all the mental health purposes that we could possibly think of. But you might recognize her from Good Morning Vale. She was with Kevin just the other day on TV8. And that's a beautiful thing because we get to spread your energy and your light in two different mediums, but all right here in the same beautiful place. So yes, I love it.
I love it too.
How's life going though so far?
It's so amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just living the dream, and anytime that I get to come and talk about my passion, my purpose is such a gift. So thank you for this opportunity.
Wouldn't it be nice for all of our passions to actually be a purpose at the same time? Some of my passions have just gotten me into trouble, you know what I mean? So I love passion with a purpose. Yeah. That actually should be your motto. I kind of really like that. Yeah. And this is episode 15. So awesome. We're getting into the good stuff here. We've been trying to bring people that make a difference in our community, special locals that do things for others that might not work for some, but then there's so many different ways to give ourselves a great mental health treatment or a mental health kick in the booty. Now, the one thing that I've always believed in is energy. I'm sort of empathic, but I would never call myself an empath. But I am empathic, and I can feel the energy off people like massively. Yeah. And the reason why I bring that up is because that's what you work with. Now, I know our bodies are made up mostly of cells and fiber and all that other stuff until you get to the bones. I don't understand the bones unless they're massive cells and deeper, because you can't go through us even though we're all cells. But that is all human energy, correct?
Yes, everything is energy, and this is like science. If you ask any quantum physicist,
I know all of them.
That everything is energy, and the way that energy comes together in us and our bodies, it comes together as physical matter. So you can see our bodies, we can touch them, we can feel them. And there is so much energy that is all around us that we can't see with the human eye. So yes. Our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, we can feel them, right? But we can't see them. So everything is energy, and at the same time, everything is connected.
It's crazy. Why are there certain people like me, like I can literally be sitting next to somebody and feel what's going on. I might not know what's going on, but I can feel they're either angsty or like miserable or sad or ready to rip someone's face. I don't know. I can always feel the angsty energy more than happy energy is always a given, but I can feel when somebody needs something.
Yeah, and I would say, going back to what you said at the beginning, you said, I'm not a full-blown empath. I would say just by you saying that, sharing that with me, I would say, yes, you are an empathic person. And it's funny that you found me and I'm on this show, because that is the people that tend to get drawn to energy healing work, that are attracted to it, tend to be empathic people or empaths, people that are sensitive to energy.
I got the left side goosebumps. Only on this side.
Those are what I call the divine tingles. We can talk about
I have divine tingles, everybody. I thought that meant something totally different.
Yeah.
No, really?
Yeah, so when you're, it's so funny because I was just talking about this with someone. When you're having a conversation with someone or an experience with someone and you get the chills or you get I call them the divine tingles.
I love that.
Some people describe them as goosebumps.
Yeah.
What that really means is that we are connecting on a deeper level. We're connecting beyond the physical level. I like to talk a lot about the soul and spirit. So what I just said activated something within your soul.
Oh, you are activating all of them. Good thing for a padded bra right now, okay? I'm not kidding. I'm tingling. I have all those beautiful tingles. I love it. And I'm not manifesting them. I think you're giving them to me.
Yeah.
Usually each week when we do sit here doing the chat box, I experience those tingles because there's somebody that's saying something profound and there's somebody that has a story to say that, help them get through something in life. We all deal with so much, and it looks like we're about to deal with a whole lot more. It just seems like things just are getting, we had an earthquake in New Jersey. If the world's not going bananas, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
So we are all needing to prepare for a little bit more anxiety, whether it's because of politics, whether it's because of the nature of our being, whether it's because of money matters or some loss or dealing with like somebody who's betrayed you, or dealing with depression and anxiety. I call depression and anxiety the givens, because it seems like a lot of, and it's probably because it has come to the surface and people don't stigmatize it anymore, so people are allowed to talk about it. So that's why I find it to be more prevalent in a lot of people. I mean, I've been living with, I touched my microphone. I've been living with that, both of those, my entire life. It's my life started off with anxiety, and it kept on going. So I can relate so hard to people that deal with anxiety or depressive episodes. I always manage to pull myself out, because I'm one of those weird people that when I feel myself going down dark, I have to sit for a few days and work it out, but I always know I can get back out. There's people that can't get themselves back out. There's people that can't find a medium or an avenue or like a community of people to help them deal with what they're going through. So with you being here and the energy work that you do, the first question I have for you is, why do you feel that what your purpose in life is helps people? Why do you feel like it does something good for people's mental space?
So knowing that everything is energy and everything is connected, there's so many modalities out there right now. There's so many ways in which people can receive treatment for whatever ails them, if it's a physical condition, a mental condition, an emotional condition. For me, in my own life, I have found that when I have experienced really like deep, profound healing, it is when I take myself to those deeper levels and connect with myself on an energetic level.
Now, how do you do that for somebody that's looking, going, yeah, well, I don't go deep? Or something like that.
I would say when we have these issues that we can't seem to resolve, that like traditional Western medicine or even traditional psychotherapy, you know, you can't move through it. You're like, find yourself in the same situations over and over again. You find yourself experiencing similar things. You can't get over the hump. Then it's because you're hanging out on that surface level.
Is that also the same as not being able to let something go, or being upset with something and you just can't let those feelings go?
It can be true. Okay. Because when we keep having the same emotions that come up, the same triggers, the same feelings, and we're not willing to go within and do some self-exploration around it, then to be honest, we're never going to resolve it.
Gotcha.
And actually, things are just going to like perpetuate themselves and get worse.
That's what happens with many, because if you don't have the tools, then you kind of just keep riding what you're feeling, and you don't you don't break free. And then it becomes your normal, and you don't realize how good things can be, how healing really feels, or how being in balance really feels, because you're used to being, your normal is being out of balance all the time. And so when we actually... Oh my God, that's crazy that you touched on that, because I've been through a lot in my life, a lot. That's why I do this podcast. I want to bring healing to people instead of having them struggle all the time. I have to say, what you said is crazy, because it's true. It really is. I mean, you can keep riding it, or you got to figure out a way to get through it, and sometimes
and usually what I tell people, when you're in a place in your life where you feel stuck, or again you still are repeating the same patterns and relationships over and over again, the same situations keep presenting themselves to you, it's your soul and the universe's way of being like, wake up, it's time to tune in, it's time to heal. And a lot of people, they don't want to go to those deeper levels because they're afraid of feeling the pain or the emotion or the hurt, when really
they're already feeling it.
You're already feeling it, you're living it, and by not allowing yourself to feel it, you're just holding on to it, so it's just going to keep coming up in certain ways and presenting itself in ways that are detrimental to you in your life. So when you take the time and the space to go inward and feel it and move through it, then you can release it and let it go, and then you have this like sweet relief.
Yes, you touched on something about feeling comfortable in a certain space. Because I went through a lot, and then when things were good, when I met like the right kind of human being that I wanted as my significant other, I would I would do what I could to sabotage, because it felt like I was uncomfortable being happy and normal and somebody caring about just me and not using all this stuff. And so it felt good. It scared me. It's kind of like, the person that's always used to looking for nickels in the couch.
Yeah.
You hit the lotto, you're still looking for those nickels because it's comfortable to be looking for the nickels.
Yes.
It's just that excitement.
Yeah.
It's the same type of thing. And I think many people do that. You stay, it's, what, is it a complacency even though it's not happy?
Yeah, I think what you said is it's comfortable and that's what you're used to. So for me, for example, when I was younger, I was in a family situation where I was very emotional, very sensitive, and no one really talked about emotions back then, or no one knew how to talk to me about them or help me work through them. And so I was in this situation in my family life where I was just with parents that were very emotionally unavailable. And there's nothing, you can't
change that.
I can't change that. I love my parents so much, but that's probably, what their experience was
and
as
I'm
well.
generations ahead of you, so imagine.
Yeah, just imagine.
Like, stuff it down, move on, stuff it.
And so our relationships are always reflecting back to us what we need. So we have this tendency to seek out on an unconscious level. We're not purposely being like, I want a guy who's emotionally unavailable, right? We end up in these relationships, and that's what happened to me in my earlier years, is I kept finding myself in these relationships with men who were emotionally unavailable. And then I was like, why won't you love me? And finally, I ultimately got to this point where I realized in my healing journey,
you got lucky they didn't love
that it was rejection is divine protection. And at the same time,
there we go again.
And at the same time, I really needed to learn to love myself.
Yeah, that's so big.
So being emotionally available to yourself.
That's the biggest struggle.
That's the biggest struggle. And then once you start to feel more comfortable and explore that on your own, then you're going to attract the partner that's going to be able to help you balance.
And that's energy.
And that's energy too.
Because you are putting off a new feeling of yourself. You've become empowered, and you realize, I don't want to be with all these unsavory. That's a good word for it. Unsavories.
Yeah, I like
for TV. But until you realize that you deserve better, you'll keep putting the energy out for all the unsavories.
Exactly.
And when you realize that you deserve somebody really special, somebody that's going to love you for all of your stuff.
Yeah.
And then you think it's not going to happen, so you just get on your own. And then when they show up, you're like, whoa, there they are.
There they are.
And then the sad part is, even though you think you deserve it and you put all this energy into getting that person, there they are. And like for me and probably many others, what do? We try and mess it up because it's too good. It's too good.
Self-sabotage, yeah.
Yeah, what is that? That's crazy. You would think that we would feel that we're doing it, and I think we probably do.
Yeah.
But I know there's so many people out there that are struggling with, I'm just one human, and there's so many people that go through so many different levels of emotional and mental distress or healing, and there's so many things. So what can we tell people? How can they step out of their comfort zone to get some energetic healing?
Yeah. So I always say the first step is awareness. That's what I always tell my clients, and that's what I've noticed in myself. Once you realize and come into this awareness and understanding, like, wow, I keep having these same patterns in my life, or wow, I'm feeling really like heavy and life feels really dark right now. What can I do to heal that? So the first step is you have to like wake up to it. You have to become conscious of it. And this work isn't for everyone. I do want to say that. Like sometimes people want to have a life where they're just, going through everything, being unconscious, and that's okay.
Well, there's different levels of different help for everybody. And that's why I like to bring on different people in our community. And I was drawn to what you do.
Thank you.
Yes.
And so I would say becoming conscious of what keeps showing up in my life, and then also stepping outside of your comfort zone. It's necessary in order to, we can't change and evolve our lives if we keep doing the same thing over and over again. So there has to be a willingness to try something different.
Absolutely.
To give to yourself and allow yourself to receive. I see that so much, especially with empathic people, is we are so used to giving and giving and giving and giving, and so when it comes time to give to ourselves, or even receiving from others, we're like, we push it away. Even like when you said, when the man comes into your life that wants to love you, and you're like, ew, because we're so like closed off from receiving, because we have I see this a lot with empaths, that a lot of our life we have tried to find love by doing for others, thinking that if we do everything and help everyone else, that somehow people will give back to us.
Right,
and it doesn't always work that way.
No.
And so we end up getting really frustrated and depleted. And
then wondering why.
And having a lot of anxiety and depression, and wondering why isn't anyone, and we get resentful.
Sure.
We get resentful.
And then sometimes you give way more than you receive, and then you're like wondering, why am I doing all this for somebody that probably is just taking me for granted anyway.
So it takes an awareness, and it takes stepping outside of your comfort zone and I'd say those are the 3 steps. Stepping outside of your comfort zone
is the hardest thing for people, but once you do that, because I've done it more lately in my older years than I ever did when I was younger. Because I think when I was younger, it was always out of your comfort zone. You just didn't know what you were stepping into. But now that we know where we stand in life, and if we can pull off doing something a little bit above and beyond. Now let me ask you this. What exactly is energy healing, and how do we go about obtaining something like that? Like, what does your practice do? What do you do for energy healing? How does that work?
So in my practice, I combine the modalities of Reiki, the Akashic Records, and ancient shamanic healing practices.
Bless you. Sorry, what?
So
I know what Reiki is.
Reiki is a form of Japanese energy healing, and that's just a simple placement of the hands on the body. And when we talked about before, everything is energy. There's so much energy around us that we cannot see. Reiki translates to mean life force energy. So in Reiki, I'm channeling this life force energy that's all around us through my body and through my hands into your body. And so it's this all-knowing, intelligent energy. It knows what you need.
Wow.
So it's co-creating with you an experience so that you can balance out your energy and receive what you need. The Akashic Records is a way, it's similar, but it's through like spoken word. Reiki is like more of a hands-on thing. The Akashic Records is I'm channeling intuitive guidance and support from your spirit guides to help give you direction in your life, or help you move through the things that might still need to be healed.
And these are for people like that are stuck or lost or confused.
Yeah, people that have lots of questions. If people want to like just receive and have a very relaxing experience.
The Reiki.
The intuitive information is kind of always coming through me now because I've been doing this work for a long time.
Really?
So if you want to lay back and receive and relax, then the hands-on Reiki is great for that. The Akashic Records is great if you have a lot of questions. If you're feeling really lost and stuck, then that can just give you some answers and give you some guidance. And then shamanism is an ancient practice that's been all over the world for thousands and thousands of years, and it really works with the life elements, earth, water, fire, air, and space. And it is really connected to the earth, and there's just these ancient energy healing practices that I have learned to offer to people. So things like shamanic journeying and energetic cord removal. That would be like a whole nother episode.
Energetic
we could talk
cord
about
removal.
That.
Don't say that to anybody who's pregnant right now.
Yeah. Well, moms and babies have energetic cords, and it's a good cord.
Really? So it's a good thing?
It's a good cord.
Oh, okay. Is it like cutting the cord, like get space from the mom and the baby or something?
Yeah,
like
so
the
an
child?
example of there's good cords and there's bad cords. So a mom and a baby is a good cord because they need each other. A bad cord would be like, let's say, I don't want to say bad, but a cord that there might be room for a little negative. Let's just say that like a mom has a kid and they're going off to become an adult and like move out of the house, and like let's say the parent or whatever just like can't get over it and they can't let go.
And that's why they always say, cut the cord, let them go.
There's so many things that we say as humans that are so intuitive and so like...
And it's so vile when you think about it. It's like, God, okay, but yours is so much prettier.
So there's...
nicer way.
There's so much that we cannot see, and there's so much going on in our energetic system, and sometimes we kind of carry around these cords or these energetic residues from old emotions or past relationships. And we can't, like, for example, sometimes when we can't get over a relationship, when we feel like stuck and we can't move past being with a certain person in a relationship, that might mean that there is some energetic baggage that you're carrying around in your system from that person. So in energy healing, we can move through a process where we help to remove that energy from your system.
Wow.
And then the person can feel a lot of relief from that experience. So energy healing is essentially, I call it energetic hygiene. So you're like releasing the energies that don't serve you. You're filling yourself back up with life force energy to restore.
Right.
So we need energy. Energy like fuels our heartbeat.
Sure.
We can heal our energy through like simple breath work. We can heal our energy through hiking out and being outside in nature, or through taking a shower and just like letting the water cleanse your body and your system. And then there's more in-depth levels of energy healing. So when you come to work with like me,
like you.
with an energy healer, yeah.
Now let me ask you this: did you study this? Do you feel like you have a special gift? Do you feel like both, or one or more or the other?
Yeah. So I've been a nurse for over 20 years. That's how I started.
Altruism.
Yeah. And I always think I've been very sensitive since a very young age. I thought I was very sensitive to energy. And then when I was always drawn to these holistic modalities, and I definitely saw room for improvement in Western medicine when I was practicing as a nurse and working at the bedside. The focus is so intensely on the physical body, but we are so much more than that. And so I started exploring these holistic modalities, and I found Reiki. And when I started practicing Reiki and learning it, I started to have like visions. I would see colors, I would see images that pertain to that person.
And there were no mushrooms involved.
Nope. And I was like, I didn't trust it. And I'm like, oh, my mind is just making this up. And I really felt like I needed more support and more guidance. And so I continued on like finding teachers and working with teachers, but I really wanted to have someone who was more of like a mentor that could help me understand and help explain like what I was experiencing.
Good for you for doing that.
This is your intuition.
So you do have a gift.
I do have a gift. And at the same time, everyone has a third eye chakra. Everyone has the ability to be intuitive, but we turn it off. Because
I feel like some people are afraid of it.
Yep.
I'm not afraid of it. I feel like I have it. Sometimes it's eerie. You know what I mean? But then I think that it's kind of fascinating.
It is fascinating.
Such an amazing. So let me ask you a question. If you sat here with me, would you feel my energy if you grab my hand?
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. Oh. There's so much like sunshine and love in your heart.
I was waiting for all that crap to come out.
No, right now, because you know what? Because you're in your element.
Yeah.
And you're doing the thing that you love. So that's like the energy that's vibrating through you.
Really?
Right now,
oh my God.
This intense energy of love.
That's amazing. Danielle, I'm moving into the studio because apparently I'm all sunshine here. This is amazing. That was special, really?
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So it's great that I radiate some positive energy because the one thing that I have found in life is that everybody goes through stuff. And then when this is something I don't like to hear. Oh, they were mean to you, but listen, you don't know what they're going through. They don't know what I'm going through. So let's pretend we're all going through something and don't take your stuff out on others. The problem with me is that I go through life, nobody would ever know of all the traumatic events that I have experienced because it's nobody's fault. And it has nothing to do with anybody else. It's all me. And yes, it's a lot of weight on myself, but I would never take my stuff out on other people. There's a lot of people bitter because of what's happened in their world, and they walk around and they're awfully mean to people, and people are like, well, you don't know what they're going through. Well, they don't know what I'm going through. So I think that if we all treat each other with that same theory, nobody knows what everybody's going through, then we should all be a little kinder and a little bit more patient with each other.
Yes.
You know?
And that's actually, I love that you're bringing this up because that's something that I teach and I work a lot with is this unity consciousness.
What is unity consciousness?
So this is Akashic perspective. Earlier when I was talking about the Akashic records, so when I'm channeling from your spirit guides, it's channeling, yes, life force energy, guidance and support, and it's channeling unconditional love. And so when we come into Akashic perspective, we're able to like see outside of ourselves, outside of our ego, and see more from the heart space, like that everyone, everything, everywhere is connected.
Wow.
And though we might have different life experiences, we all have very similar life experiences.
Without a doubt, to different degrees or levels, absolutely. We all have some kind of something that people could relate to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so kind of what I said before, some people choose to stay unconscious, and yes, they might take their anger out on us
It's
or
just
whatever.
sad. I was just,
It is.
you can feel it, right? I just want everybody,
Yeah.
can we all just get along?
Yeah, I know. And that's, again, that's like every soul is here for a reason at this time, and everyone's on kind of their different journey, and everyone's experiencing different life lessons. And so some people, some souls came here at this time to have a really like expansive life. Some people came to learn the lesson of trust and safety and security. And so we're all kind of on these different levels, but we're all working towards the same purpose, and that's to like come back together again as one, to be joyful, and to have and to stop seeing things as so separate. Like when we
Wouldn't
create,
that be amazing? Now, okay, what are kneecap goosebumps? What do you call those?
I don't know.
I just got goosebumps in my kneecaps.
I love that, actually.
Just
That's
that.
Interesting. Yeah.
Divine kneecaps.
I would say those, like everything's connected. Those are the roots of your body. So there's like something in your root that's like trust and connection.
It's my root chakra.
It is your root chakra, yes. Yeah, so that's another thing that I teach people is living through the chakras, and that's how when I give Reiki, I follow the chakras, the 7 energy centers of the body.
I actually believe in all of that. I really, really do. I mean, I never studied it, but just everything I've ever listened to. I've had many Reiki treatments.
Yeah.
I've had the cupping and all the other stuff, but I've had the sound, the bells and the chimes, and there is really something to it. It's like it takes you into another place.
It does.
And it lifts you somewhere, and it makes you just let go of everything. And there's just something magical about it and cathartic.
That's what
and it's a beautiful thing. And I would like a lot of people to experience something like that. What types of people usually come to see you? What sort of emotional issues or mental health issues do they come to you for?
I would say usually the people that come to see me, as I said before, are energy sensitive or empathic. And they tend to come to me when they are experiencing a lot of anxiety or depression, or they're feeling really stuck in life. Those are like the top three reasons why people come to see me and work with me. And so just anxiety is a very root chakra oriented issue. So our root chakra is our energy center at the base of our spine, and that connects us to the earth. And so when we feel disconnected from the solid stability that the earth gives us, then that causes a lot of fear. We don't feel safe, right? And so anxiety is really excessive worry, excessive fear. So to work with anxiety, to work with anxiety, I usually recommend we focus on the root chakra and balancing and healing the root energy center. So everything is connected, everything is energy. So if you have like a chronic long-term or imbalance in the root chakra, yes, it might manifest in anxiety, but you might also start to get issues in the lower parts of your body. So your very low back, your legs, your knees, your feet. So again, these signs and symptoms that come up in the body are opportunities for us to tune in and what's really going on here.
So a lot of people don't realize that when you have a lot of stuff manifesting inside you, it can affect you not just emotionally, but physically. It can help you, it can damage your organs, it can damage your cells, it can damage your physicality, your body. You can go in and out of alignment a lot easier because you just, like you say, not grounded. I am one of those weirdos that loves to take my shoes off, stand around the big rooted trees.
That's beautiful for the root chakra.
I love that, and I never understood why I loved it.
So, do you see how intuitive you are?
So
you
weird.
just like naturally know what your system needs.
That's so weird.
I want to go and stand next to a tree, have my bare feet in the earth. Like, what is more grounding and supportive than that? Than literally letting the earth's energy hold you up. Trees are so supportive. The energy from trees, I used to talk to trees when I was a little girl, and I started talking to them again because they have so much they want to give us.
Yeah, and they're old and wise.
They're old. They have so much wisdom within them. They give us oxygen, we give them carbon dioxide. So we're constantly in this beautiful energetic exchange with our environment.
They're amazing. They're miraculous. And you know what I love about, and we're going off topic, but I love aspen trees because all their roots, they're all conjoined underground, so they're one giant happy family.
Did you see how, that just came full circle. We were talking about unity consciousness and universal perspective, and like the aspen trees are this beautiful,
it's just amazing
example or way in which we can learn to live our lives. Everything's connected, and they give each other feedback and information, and they share nutrients, and so it's like,
oh my gosh,
we need to be the aspens,
so
right?
now I know the moral of our story today is be an aspen.
Be an aspen tree,
be an aspen tree. So let's get your information out there, because this has been such a wonderful conversation, and I literally can feel your energy.
Yay.
Because I can see what a positive influence you can be on people, and we love people like you in our community that, like I said, we all have our different ways of healing, but maybe energy healing is for you. And if you want to go and just appreciate a session with you, Dana, how do people reach out to you, and where do they go, and all that good stuff?
So you can always head to my website. It's danatheresa.com. That's DANATHERESA. And I have a brand new space called the Energy Center, which is in Avon. It's above the Vin 48 restaurant.
Oh, that's right around the corner from the TVA
Right around
studios.
the corner. And it's actually a shared and collective space. So I am there and have 2 other member healers that work out of there. I have Kristen Labaugh, who does sound healings every Sunday, après ski sound healings every Sunday at 5 p.m. at the Energy Center. And then Jessica Shada does hypnotherapy and massage, and also some dance lessons. So we have lots of different ways in which you can experience holistic healing through different modalities at the Energy Center.
That's amazing, and I love it because a lot of people have different ways to express themselves or something, and I talk about this every week. There's a lot of people that are sitting at home going, gosh, I feel kind of alone. I feel on my own. Take a class, go get a hypnosis, take a dance class, do something exciting and fun, step out of that comfort zone and do something positive for yourself, and that self-love will come, and then you can have this new freeing feeling and a new light, right?
Absolutely.
And that's what I think is so wonderful about what you do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
so
you.
you're right here in Avon.
I'm right here in Avon. We have the Energy Center has a Facebook page. It's the Energy Center CO, so you can head to the Facebook page and get all the updates on all the offerings and events that we have going on. I'm actually offering a new moon solar eclipse shamanic journey this Monday for that new moon solar eclipse. So if you want to come and restore and go through a deep guided meditation where you can connect your intuition and your spirit guides, then this is like a wonderful opportunity.
I might want to do that.
You should come.
We're not going to be able to see the eclipse from here, so I might as well go do some kind of ceremony.
So you should at least come and experience the energy with us, with a beautiful group of
that
wonderful
sounds
souls.
Absolutely amazing. I can't thank you enough for being here with me today. This was a wonderful journey that we took, all about energy and healing and taking yourself to a better, higher place where we can all find ways to take care of ourselves and to feel better and to not always feel stuck. And that's what I love about bringing people like you on. Well, this was episode 15 of the Chat Box, live on YouTube and all of the other social media networks. You can also catch us in the mornings after Good Morning Vail on TV8 on Saturdays. And we are so happy to be here. I am a very grateful person for the space that we have to bring you all kinds of mentally healthy people and to give you all the different avenues on ways that you can grab hold of yourself and become bigger, better, brighter, happier soul. Again, thank you so much for being here. What's your number? Anyone want to throw out a number for anybody? Are you dating? No, I'm kidding. No, number for your business.
You can email me if you have questions at Dana, D-A-N-A, @oehealing.com.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Dana. You're wonderful.
Thank you.
A little bit more energy as we close out. We have the Chat Box. May something magical happen to you guys this weekend. Love you.
Love you.